Yes, sir. Very naman po.
So our lesson for today is about validity and reliability. So kasi hindi tayo pwedeng basta um, hindi tayo pwedeng basta gumagawa lang ng questionnaire. Kaya basta gumagawa lang ng instrument, survey. Hindi natin yung basta ginagawa. We need to test the validity and reliability of the questionnaire itself. And in order to do that, we must know what are or how to uh, test the validity and reliability of the questionnaire. At the same time, we should know the concepts underlying within the validity and reliability. So yun yung lesson natin ngayon. Paano nga ba ginagawa or tinitest yung validity at saka yung reliability ng isang questionnaire? Imagine, class, bakit ba natin siya kailangang i-test? Yung validity and reliability. Diba, in a relationship, for example, sa inyo, sa relationship niyo, before you enter any relationship, what do you do first? Sige nga, Jessa.
Sir, ano po ulit, sir?
Halimbawa, you have a relationship. Papasok ka sa isang relasyon. Suppose we say, meron kang magpapasok ka sa pagkakaroon ng boyfriend. So, anong una mong ginagawa before pushing into the relationship?
Sir, ano sir, kung magkakasundo po ba yung ugali ng dalawa, ganun po.
Kung magkakasundo or kung maaasahan mo ba siya? Kung maibibigay din ba niya yung kaya mong ibigay? Kung mamahalin ka din ba niya in short term, mamahalin ka rin ba niya? Parang gano'n eh. 'Di ba? Kristen, how about you?
Sir, ano po yun?
Ano yung first na consideration mo when entering a relationship? Kristen? Sige, si Crystalline muna. Crystalline.
Sir.
What is your first consideration when entering a relationship, for example?
Yung ano po, parang kinikilala ko muna, sir.
Okay, kinikilala or tinetest, di ba? Minimeasure, ino-observe. Ayan. Sinusubukang malaman kung magiging consistent ba siya sa kung ano yung ginagawa niya before hanggang sa ginagawa niya ngayon. Sinusubukan niyo rin siya kung magiging reliable siya pagdating ng araw. If he loves you right now, will she still love you until the rest of time? Diba? May ganun eh. Para din kayong nag-measure ng validity and reliability doon. So let's explore. Ano ba yung definition nitong dalawa nito? Diba? So una sa lahat, we should know that questionnaire is an important method of data collection and it is used extensively. And advantage of questionnaire, it is less expensive, it offers greater anonymity. So syempre kasi, lalo na ngayon, nandito tayo sa new normal, we are using Google Forms na. Also, hindi tayo nagre-reproduce ng mga papers. So, less expensive siya. Kumpara sa interview na mamamasahe ka papunta doon, papakainin mo rin yung in-interview mo, of course. May mga ganun, yung advantages of questionnaire. And then for the disadvantages of questionnaire, syempre the application is limited and the response rate is low. Di mo alam kung babalik nila yung questionnaire mo or hindi. And opportunities to clarify issues is lacking because you were restricted to the questions that you have put into the questionnaire. That is the reason why you need to test the validity and reliability so that disadvantages of questionnaire won't be a hindrance to get valid results. Kasi guys, ito yung mga disadvantages, di ba? Application is limited. Bakit ba nagkakaroon ng limited application? Kasi hindi na-test yung validity. Hindi na ayos yung validity. Yung response rate is low. Bakit magkakaroon ng mababang pagbalik ng mga questionnaire? Kasi mali yung hindi malinaw yung sampling, hindi malinaw yung samples, hindi malinaw yung number of samples mo. And then the opportunities to clarify issues is lacking. Bakit? Kasi hindi mo naman naayos yung mga objectives mo at yung mga specific questions mo sa questionnaire in alignment to your statement of the problem. That is the reason why some of the people who have submitted their questionnaire I definitely uh, rejected, no? Nireject ko. Bakit? Kasi we talked about last time, di ba? We talked about the format of how you're going to do the questionnaire. And yet, these people are still not following. So, malalaman nyo ngayon bakit ang stricto ni Sir Bry doon sa format na ginawa niya. Bakit hindi hindi basta-basta na inapprove itong mga questionnaire na ito kahit na hindi sumunod sa format. Okay. Nandito ang mga sagot. There are 5 steps in making a questionnaire. Number 1 is the background. Number 2, conceptualization. Number 3 is format and data analysis. 4 is validity, and 5 is reliability. Let's make it in a map. I-map natin siya. So, may 5 steps tayo. I-mapping natin siya. So, pag minapping natin siya, ang step 1 natin ay background. Right? So, what do we do in background? In step 1, Marisa. Marisa? Marisa. O, si Marquisa na lang. Marquison. Can you please read our step 1? Hello?
Sir, ako na lang.
Okay, sige. May problema dun sa may earphones ni Mark. Okay. Sige, Jess, ikaw
Sir,
na.
hello po.
Ayun naman.
Narinig mo ko?
Yun, si Marisa. Okay.
Naka-earphone po kasi ako kanina, sir. Di po pala nagana yung mic.
Okay, sige. Let's try game.
Ano po yung step 1 po?
Yes po, apo.
Yung background po.
Apo, itong identifying
Target audience, population, and sample.
then
Identifying purpose, goals, objective, research question, hypothesis.
okay, natapos ba natin to? Nagawa ba natin to, everyone? Nagawa ba natin yan? Yang, na-identify na ba natin yung target audience natin, yung population, tsaka yung sample, bago tayo gumawa ng questionnaire? Nagawa, hindi. O, mamaya na kumain, alas 10 pa lang. Ano, nagawa o hindi? Hindi nila alam kung nagawa nila o hindi. Sige, tanong tayo sa isa. Crystalline, nagawa?
Sir, nagawa po.
Nagawa. Jessa?
Yes, sir.
Jessa?
Opo.
Okay. Cassandra? Cassandra? Okay. Marisa?
Yes po, sir.
Mark. Okay. Kristen. Ayan, okay, nagawa rin daw. Okay. Kasi kung hindi nyo nagawa yung pababalikin ko kayo kapag gagawin ko kayo ng chapters 1 at 2 ulit. Kasi yung chapters 1 at 2, yun yung nag-identify ng background natin. Yung introduction and especially the introduction, which is chapter 1. Then we go to chapter 2, wherein we do this we did some conceptualization, we generate the statements, the questions, the variables, knowledge, attitudes, perceptions, opinions, facts, behavior. That is our half of the chapter 1. Tapos, yung conceptualization ng question, yun yung ginawa natin sa sample draft of the questionnaire. See, akala nyo ganun-ganun lang yung ginagawa natin, pero we are doing the questionnaire designing. Then we went into number 3. We identified the data analysis, the appropriate scales of measurement, the questionnaire format. So yung data analysis, di pa natin ito nagagawa. Ito yung part 5 ng ating paggawa ng chapter 2 methods. So itong data analysis, kasi malalaman lang natin to kapag nandiyan na yung mga questionnaire. So nandiyan na yung questionnaire natin, may format na tayo, ma-identify na natin kung ano yung data analysis. But for now, let's first deal with step 4. Sa step 4, number 1, ipapacheck niyo yung questionnaire sa panel of experts. After that, magkakaroon ng readability test. Tapos, may IRB, may field test, at may revisions. Sa step 4, eto na yung susunod nating mga gagawin. Alright? And then we go to step 5, the testing of reliability. The testing of the reliability is the instrument distribution. I-distribute na natin yung instrument. Tapos, mauna yung pilot test reliability. Ipa-pilot test o test-retest method, and then cronbach alpha, and then instrument distribution. Sa step 5, ang dulong-dulo doon yung pag-distribute ng questionnaire. Okay? So ngayon, itong part na yan, yung may highlight ngayon, yan ang tinatawag nating validity and reliability. You may say, ang hirap, ang dami pa palang pagdadaanan. That's why I am hurrying you up. Kailangan nyo siyang gawin. Kailangan natin siyang gawin. Kasi this is another level of research. It's not about the practical research one wherein we ask for opinions. Ito kasi we are asking, we're going to do some data analysis using statistical method. So we must very rigid, we must very sure of the reliability and the validity of our questionnaire. Okay. So validity, can you please read Marisa?
Validity. Validity is ability of an instrument to measure what it is indeed to measure. Degree, to which the research has measured what he has set out measure. Smith, 1991. Are we measuring what we think we are measuring?
Okay. So that is validity, no? We are going to measure what is intended to measure. So, para malaman mo kung ano yung validity, iti-test mo yung validity, it's simply testing kung yung instrument ay i-measure niya yung gusto natin i-measure. Kasi may mga instrument na malayo sa katotohanan. Kumbaga, hindi naman niya na-achieve yung objectives. Hindi naman niya na-achieve yung mga aims. No? Hindi niya na-achieve yung gusto niyang ma-achieve. Bakit? Kasi yung instrument, hindi siya nagme-measure ng kung ano ba yung dapat niyang i-measure. Kaya yung huling tanong dyan, kapag gumagawa ka ng isang questionnaire, you must ask yourself, Are we measuring what we think we are measuring? So that's the question. So lagi nyo tatanungin ang sarili nyo. Kaya yun ay merong partition. Kung maalala ninyo, yung paggawa ng sample draft questionnaire ay may nakalagay na problems, no? Yung SOP. Bakit? Kasi gusto ko makita ninyo that each of the questions being asked in the questionnaire are the answers or are the leading questions that may answer that specific statement of the problem. So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-analyze tayo, items number 1 to 5 ng questionnaire nyo would answer your SOP number 1. Are you getting me? Are you getting the point? Guys? Okay, that's the reason why we are trying to divide all the questions according to your SOPs. Why? Because we want to know or we want to measure what is intended to measure. Okay, I hope we are clear on that. Okay, that is what validity is. There are different types of validity. Ito, hawak kayo mabuti kasi medyo marami ito. The types of validity that we might want to test ay subdivided into 3 main parts. We have the content validity, we have the construct validity, and we have the criterion-related validity. Alright? So, isa-isahin natin yan. Yang mga yan, may anak pa yan. Okay? Si content validity, meron siyang tinatawag na phase validity. Alright? Tapos, si criterion-related, meron siyang tinatawag na concurrent at predictive. So, those are the main types of validity. Marami pang ibang validity, guys. May external pa, may internal pa, pero ito lang muna yung pag-uusapan natin yan kasi sila yung main types. So, let's dive deeper into this kinds of validity. What is a content validity? Can you please read, Jessa?
Content validity. Whether items and questions cover the full range of the issues or problem being measured. Extent to which a measured instrument covers a representative sample of the domain of the aspects measured.
Okay. When we are measuring the content validity, we're going to measure whether the items and questions cover the full range of the issues or problem being measured. That is what we did sa questionnaire. Yung divide natin into subparts para maging valid yung content niya. Para yung ma-measure niya ay yung representative sample of the domain. Pag sinabi mong ganun, ibig sabihin na may measure niya yung SOP mo mismo. Yung mga statement of the problem mo. So, look at this one. Ayan, no? This is an example of a content validity. Can you please read Cassandra?
Sample of content validity. Mathematics team develops an end of semester algebra test for her class. The test should cover every form of algebra that was taught in the class. And some types of algebra are left out. Then the results may not be an accurate indication of students' understanding of the subject. Similarly, if she includes questions that are not related to algebra, the results are no longer valid measure of algebra knowledge.
Okay, can you please explain anyone from the group? Explain nyo nga, paano natin makita yung content validity dito? Paano natin makita? So, ano yung essence ng content validity dito? How do we test the content validity? Sige nga. Based on the example. Critical thinking tayo, guys. Anyone from the group? Sige, think. Isipin mabuti. At saan dyan ang content validity? Basahin mabuti ang example na yan. Kailangan nyong maintindihan ng content validity. Nasaan dyan? Naghihintay ako ng sagot. Di tayo mag-move forward kung walang sasagot. Any insight, Kirsten? Padaliin natin yan. Ayan, tungkol sir sa paggamit nyo ng algebra para sa estudyante. Pero dapat sakop lang ng algebra ang ipasasagot. Very good, Mark. That is the point. That is the content validity. Ang subject mo ay algebra. Ang itetest mo ay algebra. If you put something that is not about algebra, the content validity may fail. May not be valid. Diba? Kayo man eh. Ang lesson natin ay tungkol sa validity. Halimbawa, ang quiz natin ay tungkol sa validity. Bigla akong nag-enter ng chapter 1 questions. Would the instrument, would the quiz be valid? No? Magiging valid ba yun? Na nag-insert ako ng iba pa? Aside from validity, about validity, syempre hindi. Oral com yung subject ninyo. Tapos pumasok sa quiz ninyo yung pang personal development. Hindi siya valid. It won't be valid, right? So that is the main essence of content validity. It is the same as ito yung statement of the problem mo, naglagay ka ng ibang questions na hindi naman pertaining doon sa statement of the problem mo, edi hindi valid ang content mo. So the content validity is weak. Alright? Naiintindihan ako doon? Naiintindihan ako doon? Paramdam naman kayo dyan.
Opo, sir.
Okay. So very good, Mark, no? Sa iyong insight. Sana sa mga susunod, yung iba naman. Okay. Now, pag bumalik tayo sa mapping natin kanina ng types of validity, nakita nyo meron siya sa baba, yung phase validity. Alright? So, let's talk about that phase validity. Kirsten, can you please read? Kirsten?
Sir,
Please read.
phase validity. The extent to which a measuring instrument appears valid on the surface. Each question or item on the research instrument must have a logical link with the object.
Okay, very good. Sige nga, anyone who can tell me something about phase validity? Sige, ano yung insight nyo sa phase validity? Anyone? No, sinabi naman siya eh. The extent to which a measuring instrument appears valid on its surface. Ano ba yung surface dito? Let's put it in a very literal way. When I say, maganda ba siya? What do you look at? Where do you look at? Cassandra. Cassandra? Halimbawa, sinabi ko, and the question is, what do we mean by phase validity? In lesser terms, in easier terms, in easier explanation, what is phase validity? Now, let me put it in an easier question. Kapag halimbawa sinabi mo, Cassandra, sinabi mo, maganda itong tao na ito, halimbawa, saan mo siya tinignan? Anong tinignan mo sa kanya para sabi mong maganda siya?
Sa mukha niya po.
Very good. Mukha. Bakit? Mukha, yun yung surface eh. That is the surface. Now, the question is, let's put it in the context of the question. What is the surface? What is the surface of a question? What is the surface of the question? How could you tell that it is valid through phase validity? Because it should appear valid on its surface. Kung ang tao, sasabihin mo maganda siya, na measure mo yung ganda niya sa pamamagitan ng pagtingin sa mukha, how would you measure the face validity? Yung topic, okay. Yung topic ba? Yung kabuuan, what do you mean kabuuan? Ano yung kabuuan? Paano kabuuan, Jessa?
So, parang laman po yung answer ng question po.
Yung laman. Okay. Pag sinabi natin laman, internal na yon. Nasa loob na. Surface lang tayo. Nasa outer tayo. Nasa external tayo. So, ano ba yung, pag nakita mo yung questionnaire, boom, okay. Surface. Sige, tignan natin.
Sir,
Ano yan?
sir, kapag nakita po dun sa question yung pinopoint.
Pag nakita yung sa question yung pinopoint, pwede naman, pero more on content validity yun eh. Parang yung relationship dapat related siya dun sa SOP mo. Yung question, dapat yung pinopoint ng tanong mo, mapupunta. Face lang tayo face. Yung questions mo ay dapat related sa objectives. Yun naman, Cassandra, ay nasa content validity. Yung face validity nasa surface. Let's look at this one. Para mas malinawan kayo. Okay. Can you please read Crystalline?
Example of phase validity. You create a survey to measure the regularity of people's dietary habits. You review the survey items, which ask questions about every meal of the day and snacks eaten in between for every day of the week. On its surface, the survey seems like a good representation of what you want to test. So you consider it to have high phase validity.
Okay. So, kapag sinabi na, tama naman yung related dapat siya sa objectives niya, face validity yon. Pero ito yung mukha, kumbaga, sa Tagalog, mukhang minimeasure naman niya. Mukhang okay naman siya. Mukhang tina-target naman niya. Kaya face validity. So, format. Okay? Tama yung format. Surface Surface lang. So, hindi ka magbabasa na parang babasahin mo siya deeper. Hindi. Kasabihin mo lang kung ipapatest mo lang kung okay ba yung surface niya. That's it. Di ba sabi ko sa inyo noon, ang art of questioning ay dapat from specific or easiest to hardest. Di ba? Mula sa mga may choices hanggang sa mga open-ended. Okay? So, parang gano'n. Parang gano'n ang face validity. Alright? Tinitingnan mo yung surface. Nakatingin ka sa format, nakatingin ka kung good representation yon ng gusto mong i-test. Kaya nga siya good representation. Alright? Naiintindihan ako doon sa face validity?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yung content, sa content ka nakatingin. Yung face validity, nakatingin ka saan? Sa surface. Sa formatting. Okay? So, ayan yung mga, mga implications. Ngayon, mayroong mga problems associated with content validity. Una, sige, kayo muna. Pag halimbawa sa content validity, ang isa sa mga problem dyan ay yung tinatawag natin na subjective logic. Bakit nagkakaroon ng subjective logic sa pag-test ng content validity? Bakit? Pag sinabi mo subjective logic, parang naka-anchor sa opinion nung magte-test, nung magtitingin ng content validity. Bakit? Bakit? Ano yan? Saan galing yung subjective logic? Ba't nagkakaroon ng subjective logic? Sino ba nagte-test nito? That's one eh. 'Di ba? So pag nagpa-test ka ng content validity, may mga experts 'yan. Okay? May mga mahuhusay na mga tao na expert din sa field na 'yon. Ipapadaan mo yung questionnaire mo, 5 to 10 or 3 to 10 people who will test the content validity. Pero nagkakaroon siya ng subjective logic in a sense na nakabase kasi ang content validity sa opinion. Okay? Doon sa pwedeng komentaryo noong pinagpatestan mo. Tapos, there will be no definite conclusion, no? That can be drawn or consensus reached. Bakit? Kasi nga ang dami nila, kaya kailangan, actually dapat marami talaga sila. Para kung sino yung pinakamaraming mag-agree, yun yung kukunin mo na validity, yun yung kukunin mong conclusion. So, pwede kasing ganito, halimbawa, experts tayo lahat. Experts si Crystalline, si Jessa, si Cassandra, si Kristen, si Marisa, ako. Tapos, meron tayong i-check na content validity ng isang questionnaire. Si Crystalline, ang sabi niya, kasi itong, hindi siya nag-measure ng mga SOP niya kasi ganito, sabi ni Crystalline. Sabi naman ni Jessa, hindi. Pino-point out naman niya ito, sabi ni Jessa. Sabi naman ni Cassandra, eto din, hindi masyadong nagpo-point ng SOP. So may varying, nakikita nyo, merong pagkakaiba-iba ng opinion. Kaya nagiging subjective logic siya. But, maiiwasan naman yun. Kapag marami yung mga pagpapatestan. Kung dalawa lang yan sila, mahirap yun guys. Kailangan marami ang pagtetestan ninyo. Okay? Isa pa. Ayan. The extent to which questions reflect the object. Ayan yung sinabi ko kanina. No? Pwede kasing iba yung perception nung gumawa ng questionnaire. Kung doon sa expert na nag-test ng content validity. Naiintindihan niyo ako? Nagets ba?
Yes po. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, pag content validity, usually kasi it is subjective. Pero mawawala yung pagiging subjective niya if you let it tested by many experts. That is the main solution. Alright? Now, let's go to criterion validity. Okay, sa criterion validity, can you please read Marisa?
Criterion validity. The extent to which a measuring instrument accurately predict behavior or ability in a given area.
Okay. Kapag nagpe-predict ng behavior or ability in a given area, so we want to measure that. We want to measure the validity. And that is called criterion validity. I-dissect muna natin yung term. Okay? So, the measuring instrument is called criteria. Look at this one. To evaluate the criterion validity, you calculate the correlation between the results of your measurement and the results of the criterion measurement. If there is a high correlation, this gives a good indication that your test is measuring what it intends to measure. So in measuring this, the criterion validity, we need statistical test. We need correlation. So paano gagawin yung correlation? Ano yung i-correlate mo? So, yung measurement mo or yung questionnaire mo, ganito lang yan. Yung questionnaire mo ngayon, hawak mo na. Okay? Itong questionnaire na ito, for example, ay galing na ibang study. Kinuha mo yon from other studies. Nagigets ba ako? Yung mga ginawa niyo before, di ba may iba sa inyo kumuha lang ng questions from standardized tests. So, criterion validity. Ngayon, ito ay meron na dating resulta. Yung questionnaire may result na dati. Ang gagawin mo, itetest mo siya doon sa bago mong sample. Pagkatapos, i-compare mo yung resulta nung dati at saka yung resulta nung ngayon. Pag napag-combine mo na yun, or hindi napag-combine, na-correlate mo na sila. Tapos, high correlation ang naging ending niya. Ibig sabihin, tama yung paggamit mo ng mga questions na yun. Valid ang tawag. Nagigets ako? Nagigets ako? Nagigets tayo doon sa paano siya gamitin yung criterion validity. So, meron na siya dati. May result dati yung questionnaire na yun. Tapos, i-compare mo siya dun sa magiging resulta nung bago mong results. Dapat meron siyang high correlation. Criterion validity yun. So, tapos guys, tandaan ninyo. Ayan, can you please read the criterion validity para mas malinaw? Crystalline.
Ano yan, sir?
Yung example.
Example of criterion validity. A university professor creates a new test to measure applicants' in English writing ability. To assess how well the test really does measure students' writing ability, she finds an existing test that is considered a valid measurement of English writing ability, and compares the result when the same group of students take both tests. If the outcomes are very similar, the new test has a high criterion validity.
Okay, nakita yon. Napansin nyo yung example natin. May English test. Ang ginawa ng teacher, gumamit siya ng existing na exam. Tapos, what she did is, ginamit niya doon sa students na yon. Alright? Tapos, after niya gamitin yon, pinakita niya or tinignan niya kung highly correlated. Same group of students ha. So parang kayo, yung test ninyo, yung questionnaire ninyo, parang ipa-pilot test ninyo. Okay? After yung i-pilot test, ang tawag kasi dun sa testing na preliminary ay pilot test. Okay? Ngayon, ipinilot test nyo, pina-check nyo. Tapos, after some weeks, pinatest nyo ulit yon. Yung resulta nun, i-correlate ninyo para malaman ninyo kung ito bang questionnaire ninyo ay valid in terms of criterion validity. Nagigets nyo ako? Test, retest ang tawag. Kuha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So, I hope others nakuha na. Jessa, Kirsten,
Yes
Lisa.
po.
Okay. So, let's move on.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, very good. Meron niyang dalawa pang anak, yung concurrent at yung predictive. Medyo madali lang to. Pag sinabi mong predictive, of course, nagpe-predict ng future performance, no? Example nitong mga test na to ay entrance exam, wherein the performance of this test correlates with later performance in professional college. Diagnostic exam. Diagnostic exam. Ang diagnostic kasi, binibigay yan sa una. Tapos ikino-compare sa ibang exam, yung ano ba, entrance exam. Yung diagnostic, usually mababa kayo doon eh. Diba? So, pipredict natin yung future hindi. Sa ano pala yun, sorry. Hindi pala diagnostic ang tawag doon. I forgot the term, pero it's an assessment. Tapos, ipipredict nyo yung future performance ninyo. Ano bang tawag doon? National Achievement Test. Yan naman ay ginagamit nyo para ma-predict yung performance ninyo sa college. Alright? So, I hope naintindihan nyo predictive. Kaya siya predictive, nagpe-predict ng future performance. Written driving test pala. Written driving test. Kasi ano yun theoretical. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi mong written, wala pang application. Okay, pe-predict niya lang kung paano ka mag-drive. Kung okay ka ba mag-drive. Okay. Siyempre, kung may predictive, may concurrent. Pag sinabi mong concurrent, andyan na naman yung term, current. Current. Ibig sabihin right now. Okay? Present. So, it is the test used to estimate the present performance. Like, professional college exam, a quarterly exam, driving test, yung mismong application, pilot test, no? So, yan yun. Yun yung mga pwede nating gamitin, yun yung mga types of criterion validity. Next is, the problems in criterion validity are as follows. Yung criterion validity kasi, hindi siya laging ginagamit, no? It cannot be used in all circumstances, especially in social science where some conditions do not have a relevant criteria. So may mga part kasi ng social sciences, mga study na hindi kailangan ng criterion validity. Na hindi siya nagpe-predict, hindi rin siya nag-measure ng present performance. So, yun yung kahinaan ni criterion validity. Hindi siya applicable sa lahat, no? Hindi siya applicable sa lahat. Pero sa inyo, sa mga research niyo, applicable si criterion validity at saka si content validity. Alright? So that's the problem in criterion validity. Now we're down to the last kind of validity and it is called construct validity. Okay. What is a construct validity? Kapag construct validity, it assesses the extent to which a measuring instrument accurately measures a theoretical construct it is designed to measure. Theoretical construct, no? So, bago natin pag-usapan yung theoretical construct, let's move muna kung paano siya minimeasure. So, kagaya ni criterion, nagko-correlate tayo. May correlation. Okay? So, in measuring the correlation, we are measuring the correlation of the performance on the test with performance on a test for which construct validity has been determined. Right? O, ganito yon. Look at this one. Saan na yan? Ayan. Ano ba yung construct? Pag sinabi mong construct, it is the concept or characteristic that can't be directly observed but can be measured by observing other indicators that are associated with it. Pag sinabi mong construct, ito yung mga mini-measure natin na walang definite measurement. Bigyan ko kayo ng example. Depression. Depression, guys, cannot be directly observed. It cannot be directly measured. Pero because of some indicators, yung tinatawag nating mga symptoms, yung mga tinatawag nating signs, indicators ang tawag doon, nalalaman natin na itong tao na ito ay may depression. Nagagets nyo ba ako? Nagets ko ano ito? Sige, give me an example of a construct. A characteristic that cannot be directly observed but can be measured by observing other indicators. Sige nga, give me one. O depression is an example. Ano pa? Yung hindi mo ma-measure, hindi mo kagad masasabi na meron siyang ganun.
Sir, sakit po.
Anong sakit?
Any kind of sakit.
Yung
Sir, di mo naman agad na measure, di ba? Kunwari, pag nag-cancer ka, ganun po.
okay. Na-measure kasi yun eh. Meron tayong blood chem. Parang pwede na siyang i-measure ngayon. Usually, bigyan ko kayo ng clue. Usually, ang mga hindi na-measure na mga characteristic, hindi siya kagad na-observe something that goes in the mind of a person. Something that is psychologically attached. Yes, Marisa?
Sir, pwede ba eating disorder?
Eating disorder. Eating disorder, pwede naman, oo, kasi hindi naman natin siya na-measure eh. Kung gaano kalala yung eating disorder niya, it comes with it comes with the indicators. Okay, pwede yon. Eating disorder. Ano pa? Yes, Christine.
Yung like yung brain ko, yung level ng emotion natin.
Emotions. Doon tayo mag-stick. Emotions, no? Emotional quotient, for example. Indicators ang minimeasure doon. Hindi yung emotions mismo. Okay?
Sir, depression po.
Yung?
Depression po.
Yes, depression. As I've said kanina, tama yon. Depression. Okay. Tapos, pwede ding love. Okay na. Pwede ding love. Indicators. Indicators lang ang minimeasure sa love. You cannot measure love by itself. You measure it by the things that were produced by love. The things that were done by love. So, construct din yon. Pwede natin sabihin construct din yung part niya. Anything that cannot be directly observed. No? But can be measured by observing other indicators are called construct. Okay. Next. Ayan. Constructs can be characteristics of individuals such as intelligence. Di mo kasi na-measure yung intelligence agad. Kailangan mo i-test muna yung math ability niya, i-test mo yung scientific ability niya, yung logical reasoning. So, ang dami para malaman mong intelligent ang isang tao. Obesity. Okay? Hindi mo naman ma-measure yung obesity by just looking into weight. So, may mga factors yan in order to put a person into an obesity status. And then, job satisfaction. Depression. Okay. They can also be broader concepts applied to organizations or social groups, such as gender equality, corporate social responsibility, or even freedom of speech are constructs. Alright? Mga construct yan. Right. Now, to achieve construct validity, you have to ensure that your indicators measurements are carefully developed based on a relevant existing knowledge. Guys, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Dun sa mga questionnaire ninyo. Nandun na tayo sa main point. May mga construct kasi, may mga indicators na kailangan yung kunin from past relevant researches. Like for example, ito yung tanong nyo what are the effects of social media to you? Tapos ang ginawa ninyo, in-open-ended ninyo. Mali yun. Na lagi kayong naka-open-ended. Bakit mali? We are in a quantitative research. If you're going to put it in an open-ended questions, you are researching a qualitative research. Gets nyo ako? Magiging pure kayo. Pag naging pure kayo, balik na lang kayo ng grade 11. Kung magiging pure qualitative, babalik kayo ng grade 11. Babalik ko na lang kayo doon. So, yun yung main point kung bakit kailangan may options. Yung mga options na yon, halimbawa A, B, C, D, hindi yun manggagaling sa inyo. Manggagaling yun mula sa mga resulta ng ibang review of related literature. Halimbawa, what are the effects of social media to you? A, maghanap ka ngayon ng research. Effects of social media to people. Tignan mo yung resulta, ano-ano yung mga nakuha niyang effects. Yun ngayon, yung resulta na yun yung ilagay mo sa choices mo. Gets niyo ako? Nagigets ako?
Yes, sir.
Tapos,
Yes.
ilalagay nyo ngayon itong mga effects na ito, ilalagay nyo ito sa RRL ninyo, sa Review of Related Literature. Na ito, pinagkunan nyo ito ng mga options. So, kung magtatanong kayo ng effects, magtatanong kayo ng what are the impacts of, magtatanong kayo ng what are the causes, what are the factors, ang choices nyo doon manggagaling sa relevant existing knowledge. Because the questionnaire must include only relevant questions that measure known indicators. Nakukuha niyo ako? Nagigets ako? Ha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, wala na akong makikita dyan na puro open-ended. Pag resubmit niyo ulit sa akin yan. Dapat maayos na yan. Kasi, papalya yung construct validity niya. Alright? So, next. Example ng construct validity. Ito. We know that there is no objective observable entity called depression that we can measure directly. But based on existing psychological research and theory, we can measure depression based on a collection of symptoms and indicators such as low self-confidence and low energy levels. Ayan. So, yan yung mga sinabi ko kanina. Okay? So, nabigay ko na yung example na yan. Okay. Construct validity is about ensuring that the method of measurement matches the construct you want to measure. Okay? So, halimbawa, magde-develop ka ng questionnaire to diagnose a depression. You need to know, does the questionnaire really measure the indicators, the construct of depression? Or is it actually measuring the respondent's mood, self-esteem, or some other construct? So, dapat careful. Okay? Very careful ka. Para maging careful ka, dapat nakabase yung ibang mga options, nakabase ang mga options mo sa mga relevant resources. Okay, remember, all other types of validity described previously can all be considered as forms of evidence for construct validity. Okay? All other types of validity described previously can all be considered as forms of evidence for construct validity. So, yung criterion related, yung content, yung face validity, pwede silang maging evidence ng construct mo. Okay? So, any questions regarding those three? May tanong ba?
Wala na po.
Okay. So, ito yung summary nung tatlong type of validity. Ang minimeasure ni content validity ay whether the test covers a representative sample of the domains to be measured. No? So, in order to do that, you need to ask experts to assess the test to establish that the items are representative of outcome. So, 3 to 10. Okay? 3 to 10 experts. The criterion naman, it's the ability to estimate present and future performance depende kung concurrent o predictive. Tapos, in order to do that, you correlate the performance on the test with a concurrent behavior or a behavior in a future. Again, depending kung concurrent siya or predictive. Pag construct naman, This is the extent to which the instrument measures a theoretical construct. And again, in order to do this, you need to correlate the performance on the instrument with the performance on an established instrument. So, yung past results ng instrument versus the present results. Alright. So, yan yon, yung pinaka-summary ng mga pinag-usapan natin kanina. Okay. Last but not the least is the test of reliability. Ito yung step 5. After mo sa step 4 ng questionnaire, you go to step 5. Now, the reliability is the ability of an instrument to create reproducible results. And a questionnaire is said to be reliable if we get same or similar answers repeatedly. Halimbawa, ang tanong mo ay, are you, are you in favor of soggy bill? Ayan, magandang tanong. Soggy bill. Yung gender equality natin dito sa Pilipinas na batas. So, depende yon sa tanong. Halimbawa, it will be reliable if and only if we get same or similar answers repeatedly. Bawa, puro yes, tapos puro no, or half, split halves, ibig sabihin, valid yung mga answers, no? Nagkakaroon ng uniformity or unity within the answers. So, nagiging reliable siya. And in order to do that, ayan, we must distinguish what is the difference between reliability and validity. Pag sinabi mong reliability, consistency. Okay? Consistency. Pag validity naman, accuracy. So, pag sinabi mong consistent, reliable siya. Pag sinabi mong consistent, hindi nadadivert yung sagot ng mga tao into different dimensions. So, nakafocus siya sa isa lang. Consistent yung measure. Pagdating sa validity, accurate. Valid. Accurate dapat siya. So, reliability is consistency. Validity is accuracy. So, lagi tatandaan yun, okay? So, look at this one. What does reliability tell you? Reliability is the extent to which the results can be reproduced when the research is repeated under the same conditions. Validity, it measures what they are supposed to measure. Okay, so napag-usapan na natin yan. Paano ina-assess ang reliability? Okay. Titingnan mo yung consistency of results. Okay? So makikita mo naman yan kapag tapos mo mag-pilot testing, makikita mo yung consistency ng result. Halimbawa, item number 1, ilan ang sumagot ng yes, ilan ang sumagot ng no. Magiging consistent siya the following time na gamitin mo ulit yung questionnaire sa same persons. So, halimbawa, mas marami yung yes item number 1. Nung tinest mo ulit siya, pinatest mo ulit, marami pa rin yung yes. Consistent siya. Reliable siya. Okay? Tapos, reliable measurement is not always valid. Tandaan mo yan ha. Tandaan nyo yun. The results might be reproducible, but they're not necessarily correct. Pero, a valid measurement is generally reliable. If a desk produces accurate results, they should be reproducible. Ibig sabihin, kapag tinest mo ang validity at naging valid ang lahat, automatically, it is reliable. Nagagets niyo ako? Kaya kailangan, validity pa lang, tama ka na. Accurate ka na. Para hindi ka naman problema sa reliability. Kaya ang validity and reliability, which are our steps 4 and 5, are combined into one step. Validity and reliability. The test of validity and reliability. Okay, nagagets ba ako? Nagagets ako? Nagets? Jessa, Kirsten, Marisa, Crystalline?
Yes.
Sana malinaw yun, no? Now, how to measure reliability? Okay, in measuring it, gagamit tayo ng stability, internal consistency, and equivalence. Hindi natin masyadong pag-uusapan kasi napag-usapan na natin ito kanina sa validity. Actually, medyo nahapyawan na natin sa reliability kanina, but then, introduce ko sa inyo si stability. Stability is to ensure that same results are obtained when used consecutively for 2 or more times. Yung kaninang sinabi ko sa inyo na ipapilot test, tapos iti-test ulit. Tapos nabanggit ko sa inyo yung test-retest method. Okay, pag sinabi mong test-retest method, so the test is administered twice to the same participant at different times. So halimbawa, this week, pinasagot mo yung questionnaire mo, tapos papasagot mo ulit siya next week. Alright? Tapos i-combine mo, i-compare mo kung ano yung result ng dalawa. If they have consistent and accurate answers and results. It's used for things that are stable over time, easy and straightforward, and useful for questionnaires, checklists, rating scales, and administration of instrument to a sample on 2 different occasions. Okay? Test, retest. Nag-test ka, tapos ni-retest mo. Right? So that is for stability. Ayan. So hindi natin muna pag-usapan yan sa data analysis na natin ito pag-usapan. Ayan. Ito yung iba't ibang uri ng paggamit ng reliability. Pag ginamit mo yung test, retest, you are testing or measuring the stability over time. Pag yung split half naman, you are measuring the equivalency of items. Kasi kinakalahati mo siya. So, kalahati versus kalahati ng questions mo sa questionnaire, pagko-combine mo yung results. Split half. Inter-rater is the agreement between raters. Okay? So may mga multiple researchers that will measure same instrument and determine percentage of agreement between them. Okay? So, inter-rater. So, ito yung isa sa mga gagamitin natin, yung agreement between raters. So, magpaparate tayo. We're going to have multiple researchers to measure the same instrument and determine percentage of agreement between them. Okay? Pag-usapan natin yan sa data analysis. Now, the last question that we're going to ask is, why do we need to test validity and reliability? Kirsten, bakit natin kailangan i-test ang validity and reliability? Kristen?
Sir,
Bakit kailangan nating i-test ang validity and reliability? Based on those questions, based on what we discussed.
sir, wait
Sir,
lang
wait lang
po.
po.
Sige. Yung others, tatanungin ko rin kayo. Crystalline, bakit natin kailangan i-test yung reliability? Validity and reliability. Bakit dapat valid and reliable ang ating questionnaire?
Sir,
Sir,
para po maging maayos,
yung
para po maging maayos yung paggawa. Ay,
Oh. Okay. Tama yun, para maging maayos. No? Ano pa? Bakit hindi pwedeng valid lang siya tapos hindi siya reliable? O kaya reliable na lang siya pero hindi siya valid? Pwede kaya yun? Tama kaya yun?
sir,
Sir,
pwede
pwede
po.
po.
Pwede. Halimbawa, valid siya pero hindi siya reliable. Pwede kaya yun sa research?
I think so, hindi po.
Bakit kaya, Kirsten? Bakit hindi pwedeng valid lang siya tapos hindi siya
Kasi
reliable?
sir,
Sige, go.
magiging malabo po kasi yung pinaka question or pinaka answer po dun sa research na ginagawa niyo. So parang hindi po siya magiging accurate.
So, paano siya magiging accurate? Paano siya magiging accurate?
If ano po sir, kung may validity po and yung reliability niya po is may consistency and yung measurements po is accurate.
Okay, very good. That is the main thing, no? Tama yun. We cannot proceed to distribution of questionnaire if the validity and reliability are weak. Dapat pareho silang strong. Look at this image. Look at this one. Eto, hindi na siya reliable, hindi pa siya valid or invalid. Okay? Unreliable tapos invalid. Look, ito yung dartboard natin. Wala siyang kahit isang na kuhang points. Ang layo, hindi siya reliable, hindi siya valid. Kapag naman siya valid pero reliable, nakascore ka nga, hindi ka naman naka-bullseye. Gets niya? Nakascore ka, pero hindi ka bullseye. Kasi hindi ka consistent. Accurate ka lang. Pero hindi ka consistent. Ito, itong nauna, hindi ka na consistent, hindi ka pa accurate. Ito naman, reliable but not valid. Accurate ka. Consistent ka. No? Napaka-consistent mo. Doon ka lang sa lugar na yun. Ito lang, oh. Pero ang mali, hindi siya accurate. Bakit? Kasi yung goal mo, ito yung bullseye. Yung bullseye yung goal mo. Pero dito ka, so hindi ka accurate. Ano ka lang, consistent ka lang. Dapat, consistent ka na, accurate ka pa. Ayan, yung image, nasa bullseye. Right? So, nasa bullseye. That is both reliable and valid. Remember that a validated questionnaire is one which is undergone a validation procedure to show that it accurately measures what it aims to, regardless of who responds, when they respond, and to whom they respond, or when self-administered and whose reliability has also been examined, thereby reducing bias and ambiguities and better quality of data and credible information. So your assignment for this week is to put your questionnaire in validated form. Ibig sabihin, dapat this week, ma-validate nyo na ang inyong questionnaire. Okay? How are you going to put your questionnaire in